In the days, Scots virtual religious service will be opening with musical composition 15, followed by the fourth vision of York, chapters 12 through 14. Musical composition 15. Meester Jesu, Fa will gang until your pure tent. Fa will dwell in your pure now. A good living, them fa direct, unspik a trout, for their hearts. Unspik ne ill ithers, die ne wrong to their friends, until ne tittle tottle o their neeper. Them fa have ne time for a course, but think muckle of them fa dread a meester, Jesus. Fa staan by their word, though it myth besair, and dinna change their minds. Them fa dinna charge nae interest on their linen, and canna be bribed, to tell lies agin them fa have deen nae wrong. Fa ever dis sick things will stand sicker. And now for the fourth vision as written by York in the revelation of Jesus the Anointed. Chapter 12. Anew there appeared to muckle fairly in heaven a woman clad wi' a sin, aneath her feet was a mean, and a crown wi' 12 stars on her head. She was in a family way, and was skirling out wi' her birth pangs, as she was near hand come on her time. Syne another fairly appeared in heaven, a muckle red dragon, wi' 7 heads, and 10 horns, and 7 crowns on his heads. His tail swiped down a third pair o' stars in heaven, and flung them down upon the earth. And a dragon steed afore a woman, it was i' the family way. Sayat as seen as she was better, he would et up her bairnie. And she gied birth to a wee loony, fa is to be shepherd to all a warl. Rolling wi' a wand o' iron. Her bairn was clocked up till Almighty, until his throne. And a woman skyced awa till a rock country, for she had a placey made ready for her by Almighty, for she would be looked after for 1260 days. Syne war broke out in heaven. Michael and his sins fought wi' a dragon, and a dragon fought wi' his sins. But they didna get the better o' it, and they were flung out o' heaven. Say a great muckle dragon, a serpent o' all, fa's called a deal, and all horny. Fa led a hale warl ugly, was haved doon on a warl, and his sins were haved doon wi' him. Syne I heard a muckle voice in heaven saying, New is our salvation, and strength, and a kingdom o' Almighty, and a poor o' Anointed, 'cause the accuser o' our brothers has been haved doon fa his place, for he steed afore were Almighty, accusing them day and nicht. They got the better o' him by a bleed o' a lamb, and by a troth o' their word. They didna care a dockin for their lives in a verra jaws o' death. Be glad, syne, ye heavens, and all ye fa dwell in them. But way is a warl on the sea, 'cause a deal has come doon to ye in a blazing rage, kennin' his time's nae long. When a dragon found out he'd been hoisted doon till a earth, he tyrannized a woman fa had hid a wee loony. But she was gien 12 muckle eagle's wings, sayat she could flee till her placey i' the rock country. for she was looked after for 3 year on a 6 month. Uta a wai a dragon. Sign a dragon scooshed ut his moo, a muckle spate o' water after a woman, to try to wash her awa. But the earth come till her rescue, and opened its moo and swallowed the water at the dragon had scooshed ut his moo. Sign a dragon was fair raced wi a woman, and gaed awa to wage war on a lave o' her bairns. That's to say, all them fa keep Almighty's word, and keep a troth o' Jesus. On a dragon steed up on a shore. Chapter 13. As I steed on a sand along a shore, I saw a beast rise out o' water. It had 10 horns and 7 heads. There was croons on ilka horn, and names spiken ill o' Almighty on its heads, on his heads. A beast at I saw was like a leopard, though he hid a feet o' a bear, and a moo like a moo o' a lion. On a dragon gied him his poor, on his seat on muckle authority. And I saw eno his heads hid a sair bit, at looketh like it would had deen awa wi him. But the sair bit was all healed up. On the hale world thought the beast a guy fairly, and they worship it a dragon, 'cause he'd gi'n authority to a beast. Sign they worship it a beast and all, saying, Fa's like a beast. Fa can fecht wi it. And off a stite aboot Almighty come out o' its moo. He was lettin' louse for 42 days. He opened his moo, and ill spik aboot Almighty come out o' it, cawing him all thin, on heaven, and all folk that dwell there. And he was allowed to wage war on the Purines, and to overcome them, and gain authority over all clans and folk, and tongues and countries. All folk in the world will worship him. All them fa's names hinna been written in a book o' life, it belongs to a lamb slaughtered fae fun o' a world. Gin ye have lugs, hearken to this. Gin ony chill is heedin for a gile's far heel een up. Gin ony chill slaughter wi a sword, he maun himsel be slaughtered be a sword. Amo all this is a patience and long-suffering o' a Purines. Syne I saw another beast rising out o' a yard. He had 2 horns, like a lammy, but spak wi a voice o' a dragon. It worketh all the authority o' a first beast, afore its very een, and gart the world and all the folk in it worship a first beast. Fa's deadly sair bitty had been made all better. And he shewed mony fairlies, mocking fire come doon fae heaven to earth afore folks very een. He mislippent them for dwell in a world wi a fairlies he was allowed to shew afore a beast, saying to a folk for dwell in a world, they should mock an image to honour a beast for took a strict fae sword, but yet recovered fae. It was allowed to gie breath to his image, or a beast, say out the image could spik and condemn to death all them that didna worship its image. Syne it caused all body, great and small, wealthy and poor, free man and slave, to talk kill on their richt hand, or on their brew. Is was say out its name, new fit we are saying, let onybody we a heed on them work out a number o' a beast. It's a number o' a man, and its number is 666. Chapter 14. Syne I looked, and there was a lamb standing on Mount Zion, and wi him there was 144 thousand fa hid his name on his father's name written on their bruise. I heard a soon fa heaven, like a roar, on a muckle waterfall, on grumly thunder. But still and on, it was like a soon o' a harper plucking his strings. I knew they're singing a new song afore a throne, on afore a four beasts on the elders. Nobody could learn aught song forbys 144,000 fa were redeemed fa a while. There are chills fa have niver lain wi a woman, on niver hid sex. There are chills fa follow a lamb forever he youngs. Is chills were redeemed fa more men, on are a foremast to be offered to Almighty on te a lamb. Niver a lee his come out of their moos, 'cause they are without fault. Sign I saw ascend, fleeing in the midst of heaven, holding the ever-listing guid send, to proclaim to them far on earth, to ilka country, and clan, and tongue, and folk. He was roaring out to him in a loud voice, Hae fear o' Almighty, and gie all esteem to him, 'cause the hour o' his judgment is come. And worship him fa made heaven on earth, on a sea, on a springs of water. Sign another send followed him crying, Babylon is doon, Babylon is doon, at muckle tune. She gart all countries drink a claret to her whore's work. On a third send followed them, saying in a loud voice, Gin anybody worship a beast, on his image, on its keel, on their brew, or their han, at body will drink o' a claret o' Almighty's anger, poured out neat until a cup o' his passion. They'll be tormented wi' fire and brimstone afore a pure sins, and afore a lamb. A reek o' their torment will rise up forever and ever, and there will be nae deval, day or nicht, for them fa worship a beast on his image, and them fa are killed wi' his name. And now it stands a long-suffering o' a purines, them fa keep a commands o' Almighty, on their faith in Jesus. And I heard a voice fa heaven saying to me, Vreet doen is, fa nu on, happy are a deed fa die in the Meester. Aye, says the Spirit, 'cause they rist fa their truckles on their deans gang wi them. Sign I look it, and a fight cloud appeared, and on it sat the chiel fa look it like a cinnamon, wi a golden crown on his head, and in his hand a sharp hook. Sign another send come out o' a temple, crying wi a loud voice, to him fa sat on a cloud, Haud tea wi your hook, and cut the crop, 'cause a hairstons here, and the corn's ready. Sign a een sitting on a cloud held at it wi his hook, or all a whirl, and a hairston o' a whirl was deen. Sign another send come out to a temple in heaven, and he hid a sharp hook tea, and another send come out fae altar, for he hid a command our fire, and roared out in a loud voice, to the send wi a sharp hook, Haud tea wi your sharp hook, and gather in the grape hairst, 'cause the bunches are ripe. On the send held at it wi his hook, until a whirl, and the grapes were trumpet outside a tune, and out to a wine press poured bleed for 1,200 mile, on a burn as heek as horses' bridles. And that concludes our reading of the fourth vision of Yahweh in the book of Revelation. You can find this in the Aul and New Testament, rendered in Doric, dialect of the Scots Language, by Gordan M Hay, and available through doricbooks.com. Find the link below. Till next time, be heartened, be sealful, and endure till the end.